Today's video is going to be a topical one. I seen it, well, I didn't see actually, I heard it on the news. I was listening to talk radio this morning, and a little bit of news popped up, and I've got it on the computer here actually in front of me. It's actually in the Telegraph. Not that I've ever read the Telegraph, but I'm just going to read a little bit, so bear with me on this one, please. Right, it says here, a teenager is believed to be the first teenager in the UK to go deaf and blind due to his junk food diet. The 17-year-old, lived on daily portions of chips, crisps, white bread and processed meats for around a decade. So this teenager started eating just shit when he was 7. I know he's a he because he says his poor diet, which resulted in a number of vitamin deficiencies, led the boy to develop a condition called nutritional optic neuropathy. This condition's more commonly seen in third world and developing countries. Purely dietary causes of none are rare in the Western world. So it's very rare in the Western world. It's just in like developing countries. It manifests itself in damage of the optic nerve, which leads to sight loss if undiagnosed, and even blindness. The unnamed patient from Bristol also developed hearing loss and bone weakness. Now, where the fuck do you start with this? I'll tell you where I want to start with this. This poor lad started just eating shit when he was 7, yeah? 7 fucking years old. Now, I go shopping, food shopping, about twice a week. I've done for years, every week, without fail. Got to fucking eat, and I go and get the food. Not once have I ever seen a fucking 7-year-old walking around the fucking supermarket with his trolley, buying his weekly fucking shop. Never. And I bet you haven't seen a 7-year-old doing that shit either. Why is that? Because their fucking parents buy the fucking food. Do I need to say any more, really? No, do I? Fuck. Bad parenting. You're not allowed to hit your kids anymore. That's banned. Oh no, don't hit your fucking kids. Not allowed to even give him a little fucking slap. Johnny's being a bad boy. You got to get on that. See that step there? That's called a naughty step. Oh fucking no, not a naughty step. I'm fucking terrified. What the fuck's wrong with society nowadays? I never know. So you're not allowed to hit your kids, but you can basically fuck their lives up by feeding them shit. So their parents should be held accountable for this sort of what? Fuck up, basically. It's just not on, is it? But anyway, I wasn't here just to chastise the parents. It got me on to thinking, now this is an extreme, exaggerated case, very, very rare. It's not likely to happen very soon, very often rather. And you may or may not believe it. Oh, scaremongering in the paper, what a fucking surprise. Yeah, it might be scaremongering, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, as I said before. But it got me kind of thinking, well, being this is an exaggerated thing, let's look at like what happens when normal people eat junk food. The people that go to the gym like you and I, we don't eat just junk food, the majority of us. I hope we don't. But we will eat junk food. So if you think to yourself, well, in an exaggerated case like the kid that's just been highlighted, if we do like the normal, and I'm talking over decades, I'm not talking a year, 5 years, whatever, it's probably over decades. But these decades of, it's basically habit forming, isn't it? I like junk food, same as everyone else. It's kind of a human condition to like junk food. If humans didn't like junk food, half the supermarket, well, every supermarket would be quarter of the size, because you got aisle upon aisle upon aisle of fucking shit. And then, oh, there's a little aisle of vegetables there, and some eggs and some meat and some whatevers, yeah? So the supermarkets will be a lot smaller. So if for argument's sake, let's look at it another way, right? If you was to get 2 brand new cars and you drove them yourself, done the same fucking route every day, first car, you have service regular, yeah? Service when it needs servicing, keep maintaining it and everything else. You do, I don't know, 20,000 miles in it. Then you swap to car number 2, which is exactly the same brand new car, you do exactly the same route, 20,000 miles, but all you do with that second car is you put fuel in it. You don't service it once. Now, after the 20,000 miles with these 2 cars, exactly the fucking same, parked by each other, which one do you think is going to run better? The one you've had serviced or the one you haven't never had serviced? Every fucker's going to know. If you don't know that, you're a fucking twat. The one that's not been serviced is going to have worn internal parts. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a mechanic either, but you know, it's kind of like common sense, and you get the gist where I'm going with this one. So it's going to have worn parts. It's not going to fucking run as well. There's probably going to be smoking, emissions, blah 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 blah. And if you was to put both cars on a rolling road and test the brake horsepower, have a guess which one's going to be lost a lot of fucking ponies. Yes, the one that's not been serviced. So how is that relevant? Well, it's a bit like the body putting shit in it all the time, yeah? If you're putting shit in your body's going to wear out a lot quicker. Like, in reality for us, that means increased risk of age-related diseases. Heart disease, you know, strokes, cancer, liver disease, kidney disease, bone disease, you know, brittle bones as you get older, you know, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, high cholesterol, heart disease. You're pretty much fucked basically. But by eating the correct diet, getting all your correct protein, fat, carbs, vegetables, a bit of fruit, plenty of fibre, blah 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 blah, you're going to run like the car that's been serviced. You're going to run optimum, yeah? And you're going to keep your brake horsepower. You're not going to fuck your brake horsepower like the other one that you neglected over the last couple of years, yeah? So by the time you get to my age, because most people that are watching this video, according to the analytics page, are between 25 and 34. For some reason or other, they've got a slightly younger audience. Thanks very much. Where's all the old bastards then? I'm 54. Don't 54-year-olds use fucking YouTube? What's wrong with these people? But if you keep yourself running at optimum, by the time you're an old bastard, you 25 to 34-year-olds, by the time you're an old bastard like me, because believe you me, unless you fucking die, get run over by a bus, you will be old like me one day, and trust me, it fucking hurries up, I tell you. If you can run at optimum, then you've got more longevity, your life's going to be better, you function better. You go to the gym and you are still going to the gym and you are functioning at a higher level than what you was if you're eating junk food and you're half fucked and your joints are. And how many people, I mean, I've seen loads of people like over the years, because like I keep saying in all my videos, I've been in the gym since, not that you can fucking tell, fuck you, since 1983. So I've kind of seen a lot of shit over them years. You can't help but not notice things, can you? And a lot of people that I used to train with back in the 80s, and some of these guys were like, fucking hell, look at the size of him. And being a young, impressionable lad, you like look up to these people and you think, shit, fucking hell, look at him, he looks amazing, looks like he's Superman. And then now and then you bump into somebody that you haven't seen for 20 years. Oh shit, how are you? Oh god, yeah, I'm not training no more. I've had an operation on me, my back's fucked, my knees fucked, my shoulders fucked. You know, I've had this, that, and I've got high blood pressure, I've got da-da-da-da. You know, there's always something, you know, and you look at them and you think, oh, yeah, you look old and a bit like fucked up, basically. I used to go, and they say to me, oh, are you still going to the gym? And I'm kind of like trying to stand there, well, I go a little bit. You know, and you think, well, I am going, you know, I'll still train 4 times a week, sometimes 5, more often 4. Do I get me aches and pains? Yeah, I get me aches and pains, but nothing drastic. I've had no operations, no, you know, my knees are pretty good. My ankle's not brilliant. My elbow's not that great. This shoulder's a little bit clicky, but only like little minor irritations more than, you know, anything worse than that. So what I'm saying is that if you look after yourself by eating a correct diet, then you're going to have more longevity. And it's not just gym stuff, like you know, I keep going about the gym, this, that and the other. You know, it's life in general. You know, if you can function better, then you're going to have a better life. So anyway, I just wanted to share that little bit. It's a bit sort of off topic slightly. I mean, I was going to turn this video off, but the Bluetooth things stopped. So it should stop if I press that, because the little lights come back on. Let's see if it works. If it does work, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.